You're watching WRKM Channel 22, number one in the region. The following WRKM broadcast for mature audiences only. What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about Big Willies. They're not the big Willies you think. It's on Will Smith. New information has been released and we're going to dissect it. And a mummified man finally gets buried after 128 years. Goddamn Pennsylvania. It's Saturday night. It's how the talks we can have when the sun is up. Good evening. I'm Ralph Ortiz and in Darkness. We're back. We're back in the saddle. Whoa. Weird burpees are happening. Make sure to cut that out in the edit. Don't want people hearing the growls that come from my esophagus. We're back. We were preempted by the Northern Bones canines. It was the 40th year of this grand tradition of dog and pageantry, as we would call it. I was going to say dog and pony show, but there were no ponies. I wouldn't have minded being preempted by ponies. Ponies are awesome. Ponies rule. They're mystical. They're magical. You put a little horn on one, now it's a unicorn. But dogs? I've never been a dog guy. Dogs are far too needy for how I like to show affection to an animal. I've only ever liked 3 dogs in my life. One belongs to an ex-girlfriend, so I've never seen that dog again. Second one belongs to a good friend. I don't see him enough, so I'm kind of neglecting my canine homie. And the third, well, he's dead, so R.I.P. to the homie. Dogs are far too needy for my affection or my love language. I like cats. Cats come and go as they please. Cats go, hey, you want to hang out? Cool. I don't want to hang out anymore. I'm leaving. That's cool too. That's cool too. This table is falling apart, I think, Bobby. Just creakies. A little nervous about it. Might need a new table soon. Or maybe we say no table and we get me a nice chair and maybe a nice coffee table where the mixer sit there and I sip coffee as I give out my ideas. We will probably need a different mic stand. This is a production meeting happening in the middle of the podcast. I like that. I like it. But we are back and we're happy to be back. As you might have seen in the program note that came up earlier in the week, I will be starting a new day job soon. So I will not have all the time in the world to come here and potty pod. So we're working on figuring out what the new schedule is going to be. But for now, we're going to keep going week to week up until Thanksgiving. I'm going to stack up some episodes in the next couple of days on some research topics we want to do. So you get a lot more research heavy stuff. Prepare to learn some things. Classes in session. But not this episode. We're still going to be our freewheeling self for this one. But in the next few weeks, we will be bringing out the research ideas, knowledge, passing it on because we learn it to give it to you so you can then harass other people with it. That's what I like to do with things I learn. Harass other people with it. Am I wrong for doing that? Maybe not. These headphones are a bit much right now. Whoa. Feedback. They didn't like that. Like, I know the audio is good. They're really loud in the ear. I can't really. It's attacking. 5 minutes of just production conversation? That's boring. Let's get to nitty gritty, okay? I'll yell at Bobby later for forcing those headphones upon me. Not too long ago, I think episode 47.5. I could be wrong. Could we do 0.5 episodes? Maybe we should start doing those again. Maybe that's what we can do in lieu of a full episode in our schedule. If we can't do a full in-studio episode, I can do a audio 0.5 as a replacement. You see, like, we gotta stop thinking about production right now. We got serious stuff to talk about. For 47.5, we did an episode called The Thing About Will Smith Is. And we definitely defended Chris Rock pretty heavily. I'm not afraid to admit that. Not afraid to admit that at all. Chris Rock's not a friend. I don't know him. I could if I wanted to. I think there's at least 6 degrees from me to Chris. I don't know how I would get there. Someone I know has to know someone else. That's how these things work. If you happen to know Chris Rock, send him my way. I would like to talk to him immediately. Maybe about this subject we're about to do. Let me move my iPad here. I gotta use my laptop. See, I'm always having multiple devices ready to give you guys the info. The headline is this, baby. Jada Pinkett Smith breaks silence on marriage, the Oscar slap, and her path to self-acceptance. Now, for those who have been living under a rock, not Chris's, at the Oscars, I think, what, 2 years ago is it now? Maybe? I don't even remember. But I know I was traumatized from the event. Not like Sean Penn, who was traumatized from the event. He wanted to melt his Oscar, he said, after seeing that at the Oscars, which is weird because what Will Smith did wasn't even the worst thing to happen at the Oscars. And to be fair, Sean Penn's kind of worse than Will Smith. He beat Madonna. So it was kind of interesting to see Sean Penn take that angle on it. Maybe Sean Penn should be the one banned from the Oscars. Maybe. Woody Allen probably should be banned from the Oscars. No, apparently not. But Will was. He was banned because he slapped Chris Rock after Chris Rock made on stage, not a great joke about Jada's short hair, saying she had been cast in G.I. Jane 2. It was a terrible joke. It wasn't great. Even he winced when he made it because he knew it was cheap. Will didn't like it. Will went up and slapped him and said, "Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." And it became a meme. And we all shared the video. We all had opinions. We certainly had them on episode 47.5. Some of them we will reiterate tonight because we now have new information of what's been going on with old Willie Smith. And in traditional Big Willie style, we're going to encompass as much as we can. Jada Pinkett finally says that these two, for the last 7 years, have been separated. They're not together. The person who's interviewing her says divorce, and she's like, kinda. More of a spiritual divorce, really. No divorce legally, but we are separated. So Will Smith slapped Chris Rock for a woman he's not even with. I don't know. To me, if we're broken up and we're not together and someone makes fun of you, that's all you, boo-boo. I'm not with you anymore. We have no agreement. We have no attachment. The merger of our two companies has ceased to be. So it seems like someone's going to have to learn some independence. and how to defend herself from really, really shitty jokes. But no, Will still slapped Chris Rock. Okay. I'm not going to make fun of it. I am. I tried to be civil, but I can't. Because I'm sorry. There's been no ex I've ever been with that if she was getting joked on, I'm defending her. Doesn't work like that. I've been with exes at parties. We've been at same places. And people are joking on her. And I didn't jump in going, hey, you can't say that about her. She's now on her own. We attended this party together because she has no other friends. I am not obligated to protect her from jokes. She's got to have her own sense of humor. She's got to have her own arsenal. We all do. I think you're only able to defend someone you're dating from jokes. Not even your friends. You can't defend your friends. Your friend has to have his own arsenal. But when it's your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whatever we're calling significant others now, I guess we're calling them significant others, they have to have their own jokes. You're not obligated to have jokes for them in their defense. No. What are we? America? Just giving out weapons to other countries to conduct wars? Apartheids? Genocides? Not us. That's not me. I don't do that. We have to be in a committed relationship. I have to have investment in your survival. Because you don't want to date someone who gets joked on. You don't want to date someone who has no jokes to defend themselves. Because then you look bad by extension. It's like, ugh. Why is you a loser? Defend yourself. Do something. Swing at them. Anything. I have dated quite a few women who did not have good senses of humor, no timing, no quickness, no razor sharp quickness. And it's tough for the man. It's embarrassing, really. And that's why I'm not with them, to be fair. I think that played a role in many of my breakups. This person cannot defend themselves intellectually. I cannot respect them. So I cannot date them. Thankfully, I'm not in that situation. Now, I have someone who can defend themselves. Thank God. I don't want to do it. I'm tired. I got to save my jokes for me. I don't generate them as often as I used to. I don't have the hateful soul for it. But Will felt obligated to defend this woman he's no longer with. And some would say that's admirable. That's admirable. In kind of a simp kind of way, in my opinion. I never use the word simp like that. I think the word simp's kind of mean, but this is a simp situation. Let's really think about this for a minute, right? Really think about this for a minute. Will Smith was an icon of our industry. And I say our industry because I guess this is entertainment. So I will put myself in the industry. He was an icon of our industry. Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Jerry Bruckheimer, Will Smith. Big time guy. He was the meal in and of itself. You casted Will Smith, your opening weekend was safe. You knew you were making money. You knew it. You were out here generating dollars, cents, and maybe some fractals. See, I don't always get the words right, but the concepts, I think I do. But he was out here generating revenue. This is a great man. He was a business in and of itself. Because not only was he well liked and well loved, he could act his ass off. And not only did he do the international fucking tours of all the press, you never had to worry, where do I have to be? That's what he'll be doing press. He also gave you a second revenue stream, the song. The song would then go on the soundtrack, and guess what? You're making box office and you're making money off the soundtrack. He was a brand. He was a stimulus package for studios. When times were hard, call Will Smith. Get him on the phone. Shit's looking ugly out here. This movie could use some help. What did Jada Pinkett bring to the table? Nothing. Nothing. Was she a stimulus check for studios? No. A liability for most. Let's look at his filmography so you understand what we're talking about here. The bankability of this man. Bad Boys, Independence Day, Men in Black, Enemy of the State, Wild Wild West. The movie didn't do well, but the song did. You can't tell me you can go chicka chicka wow, chicka wow, Wild West, Jim West, Desperado. You can't tell me you don't know that shit. And of course, Drew Hill and Cisco going in the Wild West. It was almost like painful for Cisco to sing it, but it was still a #1 hit. You know how many parties that played at? Too many. Legend of Bagger Vance. Kind of a... You gotta be really into golf to enjoy that movie. Ali! Men in Black 2. Bad Boys 2. He's doubling up. He also appeared in Jersey Girl, which I thought was... It didn't help that movie. iRobot. Flames. Shark's Tale. Dope. Hitch is awesome. Hitch is a cable TV monster hit. It's always playing. The Pursuit of Happiness. Come on. I Am Legend. Lit. Hancock. Controversial. Depends on if you want something a bit off the beaten path from superhero movies. But he still has Pursuit of Happiness. Oscar award-winning performance, I believe. Did he? I'm not looking into that. I refuse. Because we already know he should. If he didn't get, he should have won. 7 pounds? I don't think I saw 7 pounds. Men in Black 3, he went back and gave you some more stimmy check. And then he did After Earth. Now, hold on before anyone says anything. It's not his fault. M. Night Shyamalan seemed like he couldn't be beat. And boy, did he get beat. You always just hoped after The Village that he would just turn it around. And he kind of didn't. And After Earth was the further of not turning it around. Those Signs is flames. And I don't care what anyone says. Signs is a great movie. People shit on Signs because of the whole water thing, but it was genius. And if you haven't seen Signs, I'm not going to spoil what the water thing is. You should watch it. But if you come in my comment section talking about Signs ain't fire, we're fighting. I will fuck you up. That's a very aggressive way to defend the movie, but I will. Mel Gibson rules, though we're not allowed to say that because he's blackballed from Hollywood for being anti-Semitic. But that movie still rules. He showed up in Anchorman 2. Will Smith helping out, showing out in Anchorman 2. Because Anchorman 2 needed some help. That shit was garbage. Winter's Tale, I don't even remember it. But he played Lucifer in it. I gotta watch Winter's Tale again. Focus, I didn't really watch that. Concussion. This is where things get interesting. Jada felt that Will should have been nominated for his role in Concussion. The Oscars thought otherwise. So she boycotted the Oscars the same year Chris Rock was hosting them. And they got into it. She kind of said Chris should not host the Oscars. He should boycott too. And Chris is like, a black man's hosting the Oscars. You want me to walk away? Come on. You gonna pay me the money they're gonna pay me to walk away? I don't think so. So I stood by Chris Rock doing that. And also Concussion, decent, not Oscar award winning. It's not Ali. It's not Pursuit of Happiness. It's not even Wild Wild West, if we're being honest. Suicide Squad, probably the only good part of that movie. Collateral Beauty, I didn't even know that came out. Bright, I still had no idea it came out. Student of the Year 2 as himself. It's a Bollywood film. Wow. Look at him going international. Aladdin apparently did decent. Dad's documentary. I don't think that counts. Gemini Man looked cool. I didn't see it, but it looked cool. Bad Boys for Life I saw, and I enjoyed that. King Richard, bam, what he won for. 2021. This is where he slaps Chris Rock on the way back up over a joke. Not a good one, but over a joke. To a woman I feel he doesn't owe anything to. But Will Smith brought money to the table. He was a brand. He was immaculate. There's something to be said about being the black actor that white people like. And he did that in a way that didn't feel like selling out. He did it in a way where we cheered for him. We cheered for him. He was a hero. What did Jada bring to the table? Set it off? And you can't mention the Matrix movies. That's an ensemble part. She's at the selling point of those movies. She's not even a selling point of Boat Trip. Is it Boat Trip? Road Trip? I don't know. Girls Trip. Yeah. Whatever. See, it took me 3 Trip movies to remember what movie she was in. This woman, who not only spent most of her time lusting over a guy who died 20 years ago, who banged her son's best friend and was separated from this dude by this time, I guess, 23 now, for 5 years now, he had Defender apparently. And we even said at the time, he's under a lot of emotional stress. This entanglement is killing him. Chris Rock could have won him, but he didn't. This woman was destroying Will Smith from the inside. Now you're probably saying, well, why didn't it get a divorce then, Ralph? He's man enough to ask for a divorce. Well, apparently they made a promise that they would never get divorced. They would always find a way to work it out. I guess separating was working it out, but it's not working it out, is it? Because she seems to be willy-nilly banging anyone. And Will banging very loosely. No, not a lot. Like apparently he might have done something with Margot Robbie, but no one really knows. I don't know if he's banged anybody else. That awaits to be seen. While also she lusted over Tupac, who's been dead more than 20 years. So when you can't beat a guy who's been dead for more than 20 years, and you got a wife who's banging your son's best friend, and you got a woman who just doesn't appreciate the fucking brand, the empire that was Will Smith, what do you think fucking happens? You snap. She destroyed this man because he's an emotional fucking hostage. He's a good dude, a good dad, a good husband. But you know why he had to fucking slap, didn't he? Because they can't get a divorce, right? Or at least now they might be able to. But back then they couldn't get a divorce. Why? Because the man never looks good in the end of a divorce, ever. Especially if he's the one asking for it. A woman can go, you know what? I fell out of love. I want something different. I learned things about myself. It's applauded. It's like, that's great. That's great. You go ahead and do that. Get your groove back. But a guy goes, hey, I've grown. We've grown differently and I want to pursue other things. Oh, why wasn't your family enough? Why weren't your kids enough? Why wasn't your wife enough? It's like, do you see what I'm fucking married to? Do you see? Someone who's not a brand. Someone lusting over a guy who died 20 years ago. And banging my son's best friend. But of course he had to slap. Because 1, keep up appearances. 2, we always talk about how black men don't protect black women. So now he's in that position. I spoke to the Revolution about this, Raymond Baxter, who produces this show. And he brought this up to me. He's like, it's a protect black women situation. And because Will's always on social media, he knew in that fucking moment, he had to be the one to stand up for her. Even though she's done killed him on the inside and just ripped out his spirit, and everything that he values himself as is now just a shell of what it used to be. It's why the speech is even sadder now. He's crying up there after defending her honor and embarrassing himself in front of everyone. Because she has set a situation up where that's what's going to happen. And it's weird, right? Because people will go, well, how can you blame Jada for that? Well, when you're in love with someone and they kind of emotionally abuse you, which is what's happening here. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. This is emotional fucking abuse at this point. Now you're coming out announcing the fucking separation when you should have done that when you fucking had the entanglement. You should have fucking went, you know what? And we're also separated. But you had that man sit at the red table crying. Okay. When does Will Smith not cry anymore? He's only crying in movies. Now he's crying in real life. I don't want that for Will. Don't want that for Will. And then at the same time, you guys kids who have been like, Daddy, why didn't you slap Chris Rock when he said that about mommy? And my response would have been, well, she was fucking your best friend. That's why. And I don't feel an obligation to her anymore. This isn't even a stay together for the kids situation, because the kids know. The kids are growing enough to be like, yeah, just end this, man. Kids who are in marriages where the two parents hate each other's guts and just won't get divorced don't turn out okay either. Like, that's another fucking aspect of it. Jaden thinks he's a fucking wizard. The other one, I haven't even seen. Has anyone seen her? It's like she just fell off the fucking planet. Who knows what cult she's into now? Which is what tends to happen to a lot of young women when they're in Hollywood and their parents are famous. They end up falling into cults. So, hopefully she hasn't. Allegedly, respectfully, honestly. But it could have happened. But Will Smith was a brand. He was a god amongst men. He was $1 billion industry. And he's been torn down by someone who wouldn't even be A-list. I don't even think she's B-list. She's more C-list to me. What did she bring to the table? And I'm going to tell you, she thought she was Kobe. She thought she was Kobe. She wasn't Kobe. She wasn't even Kyle Kuzma. She was Luke Walton riding the bench while Will Smith was out there putting up 60 a night. What is it with Jada Pinkett Smith and wanting to hurt this dude? Why release this book now after he released his book? I guess she was like, well, if he has to tell his story, I'm going to tell my fucking story. Oh, I don't think your story's any better. But here's the problem. Everyone's going to go, how brave. How brave of her for her to come out and say that. After she done ripped this man's heart out. Destroyed the homie. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. Damn shame. And you know what? Maybe I'm unfair to Will in this situation. 'Cause I want him to do more. Like, I wanted him to get out of that situation. And maybe I'm asking him to be a martyr in a sense for his own happiness. But is he not entitled to? Fuck what the social media presence would have been. Fuck what the tweets would have been. Fuck what anybody would have said. You should have divorced this woman from jump, dog. The second y'all were separated, call it quits, get the fuck out of there. 7 years? Get the fuck out of here. There is no fixing that. Defending somebody who fucking separated from you from 5 years ago. Banged your son's best friend. I'm gonna keep saying it because it's the fucking truth. Which is technically some groomer shit because he was fucking, doing his rehab shit at the time, getting off drugs. So she was grooming out there. So you kept this groomer around. Sometimes you have to be the martyr of your own happiness. Sometimes you have to go, fuck it. I don't care what anyone thinks. I'm doing what's best for me. And the thing with Jada is because Jada knows the dynamics of men and women, right? Jada can go out anytime and point at a guy and go, your dick tonight, and it happens. That's the power women have. Women can just choose a dick at a random. I'll take this dick, and that's the dick I'm using. A man can't do that and go, hey, you're a pussy tonight. Yeah, no. Not happening. You're not the dick I want. Sorry. The dynamics are at play. She knows she has the sexual power, and she beat him with it. She killed him with it. Our poor boy, who gave us classics, is now reduced to rubble. An empire that felt like it would never fall. A man who seemed like nothing was out of place, and everything's out of place. Because of that slap, he's been blackballed by the industry. Rolling Stone had an article, 50 worst decisions made in Hollywood. Number 7 was Poltergeist. for being an unsafe work environment in which one adult person died and 2 children died. You know who was number 4 and beat out Poltergeist? The Will Smith slap. Will didn't even kill anybody, and apparently it's worse than the Poltergeist set. He might as well have stabbed Chris Rock in the fucking neck with a steak knife at that point. He lost everything. He's not in movies anymore. No one's talking to him. That's why I think it's time. I think Hollywood needs to get on the phone and bring him back now. Now that we know the emotional distress and the emotional horse shit Jada Pinkett Smith was doing, it's time to bring him back. I don't care if it's a Marvel movie. I don't care if it's some fucking horseshit indie. It's time to bring the homie back. That's it. We're done. I'm done caring now. Who cares he slapped Chris Rock? It wasn't the most professional thing to do, but you fucking, do you see who he's married to? Do you see what she's doing to him? You gotta let it slide. You gotta let it slide. 7 fucking years separated. 7, Will Smith? And you lusting over Tupac, who's dead? Yo, hot take. Tupac would have never been as important as Will Smith was. Ever. He wouldn't have. He would have fuzzled, he would have phased out like everyone else did from that era. You know what he would be? He'd be Joe Budden now. He would just be Joe Budden. He'd have a podcast and he'd ramble. That's it. That's it. But Will Smith's here, alive. On his birthday, she put a video up of her and Tupac dancing to Parents Just Don't Understand. Are you fucking kidding me? The man he used to feel insecure about her relationship with Pac, and I'm gonna put it in your face publicly. But she's not the villain here? Am I fucking crazy? I think I am. Because apparently, you know, she suffered a lot. She deals with alopecia. There's a fucking cure for alopecia now, according to the fucking Newsweek article I read. Go get that shit. Ain't no cure for the fucking years of mental fucking abuse Will Smith went through. Ain't a single fucking thing a therapist can do about that. Questioning his worth. This man hired a documentary crew for her birthday to make an entire documentary about her and her family. And apparently it was great. But Jada said that was the most self-absorbed thing one can do. Bitch, are you fucking kidding me? Women would kill for a guy to do something like that. Hey, I've collected every scrap of your family's history and I've put it in a thing that you can rewatch at any time and relive those good fucking memories, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And what I hate about Jada specifically is that she has this new age mindset where they're always trying to reinvent the wheel. We're reinventing what relationships are. We're redeveloping partnerships. We're rediscovering. Fuck you. You know who says that shit? People who can't stay faithful. That's who says that shit. People who want open relationships or anything like that are full of fucking shit. And she's full of shit. You have to be full of shit to understand Jada Pinkett Smith. You have to be. Because what it sounds like is a bunch of fucking new age horse shit. And you took one of the greatest brands in all of fucking Hollywood and and you broke them down because your ass ain't have a brand. That's how I view it. That's how I look at it. I could be wrong. Will could come out and go, Ralph, you're not right. That's not what happened. Well, until Will Smith comes on his podcast, which he's more than welcome to, I'll bring the beers. I'll bring the beers, bruh. You come through, we can fucking talk in the mics right here, dog, and have a real conversation. Because I'm here for you. I'm here for Will Smith. It's time to bring him home, baby. It's time Will Smith got back in the game. I am tired of Will Smith being exiled for this bullshit. Bring him back. If Sean Penn could beat the shit out of Madonna and still be at the Oscars, it's time to bring Will Smith back. If you can give an Oscar to fucking Woody Allen for being a fucking pedophile, it's time to bring him back. Open secret, Harvey Weinstein, except at the Oscars, it's time to bring Will Smith fucking back. It's time. I'm tired of it. The man has suffered fucking enough. He made a dumb mistake. I get that. We got on him about it. Now, to bring up the Chris Rock part, because it's important. During the concussion situation in which she asked him to, hey, could you not host the Oscars? Because we're boycotting because the Oscars are so white. They eventually apologized to her and Chris. She said, you know what? I didn't understand what pressure he was going under. That's my bad. Good on her. Not sarcastic. Great on her. Chris Rock said, hey, I apologize for the jokes I made about you. My bad. Cool. Another story comes out. There were rumors about her and Will Smith divorcing, which I would only have fucking hoped that would have happened. Chris Rock calls her up. Hey, can't I take you out sometime? And she's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, aren't you in the middle of a divorce? I thought you were single. She's like, I'm not single. He's like, okay, my bad. He apologizes profusely. Says, I'm sorry. Goes, I just saw the rumors. My bad. She forgives him. But yet here we are now. Chris Rock comes out and goes, man, there's a lot of people in this room. Who can I make a joke off that understands me? That knows the cut of my character, that knows how I get down. Jada's there. Jada won't get offended by this one. He doesn't know she's got alopecia. No one fucking knew she had alopecia. And he makes the fucking joke. But Will Smith, knowing this motherfucker asked my girl out once, and she's separated from me, so she's already fucking somebody else, probably. And we're putting up appearances, so I have to be the husband in this scenario. And I'm always on social media, and I have to protect a black woman from being attacked by a black man. I'm gonna go slap this fucking dude. Now, she says she thought it was a skit originally. Really? You've been fucking married to Will for years. You think he wouldn't let you in on a joke he was doing? Was the joke to be played on you somehow? I don't understand the logic in that fucking scenario. I don't. But once again, we're dealing with a goof. We're dealing with a goof here. Someone who's not to be taken seriously. I cannot believe Will Smith has been suffering through this entire time. Her new book is coming out called Worthy. Worthy of what exactly? You done destroyed your husband and his empire. What are you worthy of? You know what she's worthy of, dog? I would love if someone, or the people who developed the Tupac hologram, and just gave it to her. Just gave it to her. So she could be happy. So she could look at the hologram and go, this is the life I wanted. Me and hologram Tupac, holding hands down the beach. Look at us, we're together. Me and Tupac forever. Me and my hologram. That's what she wanted so goddamn bad. The only person that seems to lose at any of this is Will. And it's time for it to end. It's time to bring back Big Willie style. Welcome to Miami, bruh. It's time to bring him back. And I don't want him back just for the movies, dog. I want him back with a cadre of beautiful starlets. I want him to run through some of these chicks and consensually. I want him to start dating again. I want him to get out there and be seen with some chicks. I want him and Margot Robbie. Well, she's married now, right? God damn it. He missed the boat on Margot. Who's available? I don't know. Hollywood's a weird place. But I want him to find the next hot... Him and Ana de Armas. If him and Ana de Armas get together, let's fucking go. I'm in. It's time for Will to come back. And he's got to come back big. He's got to have a big blockbuster movie. He's got to have the next song. We got to rebuild this brand. It's time. The post-Jada era has to begin. And I know hitting the desk is annoying for listeners, but fuck, I feel it. It's time. It's time. As Dante Nero would say, sometimes you gotta flip the goddamn chessboard, and it's time for him to flip the goddamn chessboard and get his goddamn divorce. Get free of this situation, because it ain't doing nothing for your Willie. It ain't. But I'm here for you, bro. Like, I can't wingman for you, like, because I'm in a relationship and I'm a happy one, but like, I will definitely show you some spots. I'll get drinks with you. I'll be your man. Come on. I could also be your funny sidekick in a couple of movies if you want. If you want. And if you want to do a podcast, I can produce that for you if you're interested. Just saying, because he's got to compete with Red Table Talk now. We have a plaid, a black and red plaid thing on our table. So we'd be the black and plaid talk. But if you want a Red Table Talk, I can produce that for you, dog. I'm here for you. I'm offering my services to Will fucking Smith. Because it's time. It's time for him to get back out there. He's been embarrassed for too goddamn long. Are you going to join me on this, Bobby, or are you going to keep looking at me like I'm crazy? Yeah, you're going to keep looking at me like I'm crazy. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks for not being supportive, okay? We need to be here for Will right now, and you're not doing it. I believe in this man. I watched Wild Wild West in theaters. It was just me, my mom, and her boyfriend at the time, and the theater was kind of empty because no one was really interested in Wild Wild West. But the song was so good. How can people not be interested? Men in Black is the better song, I guess. Here comes the man in black. We can't really sing the song because it's copyright. You gotta be careful. You know, like that was good. That was good. I think I've exhausted everything I can say about this situation. But she can't win. That's the moral of the story. She can't win. Be a martyr for yourself, Will. Take it on the chin. Fuck what these people think. Get the divorce papers. I'll sign them for you. They'll be forging, but I'm here for you. I know a couple of lawyers. Not really. I really can't really do anything for Will, honestly, in this situation. I'm offering services I can't even provide, really. Except for the producing part. I got the equipment, but I'm sure he can afford his own equipment. He doesn't need me. And he probably is not going to like some of the things I said here. But don't be protective. It's not your fault she didn't have jokes. It's her fault. She's not funny. I've never seen Jada make a joke, let alone take one. Another Willie who needs our help. Stone Man Willie. Mummified man to be buried after 128 years on display in Pennsylvania. Why only 128? If you're going to finally bury him, why not make it the big 130? Just a nice round number. Mummified man is going to receive a proper burial after being on display at a funeral home in Pennsylvania for 128 years. Known as Stone Man Willie, the man died in a local jail in 1895, where he suffered from kidney failure after being arrested for pickpocketing. God damn. Pickpocketing? You got arrested for that? I feel like that's more of a slap of the wrist. Like, hey, get out of here. I should stop pickpocketing. He was accidentally mummified by an undertaker who was experimenting with new embalming techniques, according to Altman's funeral home in Reading, Pennsylvania. Reading, Pennsylvania! Is that not where Signs takes place? I'm kind of looking it up. Just looking it up now. Don't want to move my head so it looks like I got... God damn it, it was Dolestown. God damn it. But why does Reading, Pennsylvania sound... Ray Redding was the fucking, the guy who, crashed into, Mel Gibson's... Goddamn, I don't want to spoil the movie for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. I know it's old. Still great. Still great. I think they filmed in Bucks County. So don't get me started on Ray Redding, okay? Fucking Reading, Pennsylvania. Dressed in a suit and a bow tie, Stone Man Willie is displayed in a coffin with a red sash across his chest. His hair and teeth remain intact. His skin has taken on a leathery appearance. Having given a fake name at the time of his arrest, the man's identity remained unknown for many years, and local officials were unable to contact any of his relatives. But using historical documents, Stoneman Willie's real name has been identified and will be inscribed at the bottom of his tombstone when he is buried on October 7th. Damn it, we missed it. We could have been there. We could have given him a final salute. Damn it, hit the microphone. My apologies to those who are listening. We could give him a final salute. We don't refer to him as a mummy. We refer to him as our friend Willie. Well, that's nice, Kyle. He was just such an icon, such a storied part of not only Reading's past, but certainly its present. The funeral home had petitioned to the state for permission to keep the body instead of burying it to monitor the process of experimental embalming techniques. Ahead of the funeral, local residents filed onto the streets to celebrate Reading's 275th anniversary. So never mind his 130th anniversary. No, it has to be for 275 Reading. Cute. Stoneman Willie's coffin was carried on a motorcycle hearse as part of a parade for the city. A motorcycle hearse for a badass pickpocket. I like it. But had he not suffered enough? Don't get me wrong. Do I think dead bodies could be interesting to look at? Yes. I think everyone thinks that. It's why everyone's interested in true crime now. It's why everyone's fucking watching every documentary about every serial killer. Because deep down, you're hoping they show something gruesome. You want to see someone get their fucking neck chopped off or, just get stabbed in the belly and all the guts pour out. We want to see that stuff. But a mummified body, I don't know. Maybe you're not really into that thing. I'm kind of into it. I would have liked to have met Stoneman Willie. But I guarantee you his soul's fucking happy. Because finally he can rest. Finally, it's done. Finally, people will leave this fucking guy alone. A martyr for people's entertainment and curiosity. Do we support Willies in this country or not? That's what I'm trying to find out. Big Willie Will Smith, Stoneman Willie. Are we supporting any of the Willies around here? Do Willies matter in America? I don't know. There are certainly pills for some Willies. Brought it back because I'm an 8-year-old child who loves a good dick joke. But this man served a long term of service. And we just don't care about Willies, it seems. We just make them whoever we want them to be. Hey, entertain us, Willies. Entertain us. Get to work. Be part of our history. Oh, are you unhappy about that? Well, your soul can't rest now. He's probably been like in the middle ground of heaven and hell the entire time going, when the fuck are you going to bury me? When do I get to go in? He probably would be like, I'll go to hell if I get to go somewhere. You got to give me somewhere to go. My man's in the fucking way station of fucking the afterlife. Remember that part in Matrix 3 where Neo is caught in that train station and like the train man controls that and he's between the real world and the Matrix? That movie that Jada Pinkett Smith is in, but not the selling point of? Ensemble. Will Smith could have done the Matrix. How, I'm telling you right now, Will Smith says he didn't understand the Matrix, but no, I disagree. I think Jada didn't want him to do the Matrix because they only would have kept him going harder and harder to build the empire. And you know what she did? When she found a way to get in there, she got in there herself because she gets to be part of something now. But it wasn't her empire, though. We're really mean to Jada Pinkett Smith here. But Stoneman Willie's probably sitting there going, I'll take hell, I'll take heaven, I'll take purgatory, I'll take anywhere. Put me on fucking Mars. Just get me the fuck out of this fucking weird part where my body's been displayed for years. Get me back in the fucking ground. And now he can. Because the people of Reading are done with him. They've used him up. They've gotten all the box office they can. And they've just thrown him away. We're done with you, Stoneman Willie. Not Stonewall Willie. That'd be Stonewall Willie's kind of another dick joke with a gay twist. Man, I'm so progressive, but Stone Man Willie finally gets to rest. He finally gets what he deserves. A chance to be at peace. And that's what all Willies deserve. That's what everyone really deserves, you know? We all want to be at peace and happy. You know, he just wanted to pickpocket a few dollars from someone. He was just trying to be happy. Should he have been arrested? I don't know. Depends on who he's pickpocketing. If he was a rich person, I would have let him go. If he was a poor person, it's kind of fucked up. But not only did he have to serve out his jail sentence with kidney failure, he served an afterlife fucking sentence to the people of Reading, Pennsylvania, these motherfuckers. Because Reading, like Hollywood, it's never enough for them. They always want more. You gotta do things on their timetable. You don't get to rest. You don't get to go to paradise unless they say so. Because that's how the game works. But sometimes you need to be a martyr for your own happiness. You need to go, no more. I'm going to do what I want and I'm going to be happy. And what Stone Man Willie should have did was he should have came back from the dead as a ghost and haunted these fucking people until they fucking buried him. Until they let him fucking go. If this ever happens to my body, best believe I'm haunting whoever does it. And it's game on. It's game on. I ain't gonna do traditional ghost shit either. Ooh, I'm opening the door, I'm closing the door. No, I will be throwing knives. I will be throwing fucking knives. Get ready to catch some edges. Let's bury our dead, please. The Egyptians mummified. That's because, you know, they had their own thing going on. This guy wasn't Egyptian. They didn't even reveal his name, so maybe he was Egyptian. Who even fucking knows? Find it sus to not revealing his real name, because once you give him a real name, he's a real person. But if he's still Stone Man Willie, he's a gimmick. You have to treat him like one. Prop him up, everybody. It's Stone Man Willie. Look at his dead body we got hanging around. For scientific purposes, so we can study the embalming process. Okay. Wow, I'm really angry this episode. I wish I came back with much more joyful feelings. But no. No, because I got preempted by a fucking dog show. I got preempted by a fucking dog show. And to the people of the Bones who I love dearly, who are my people, I'm going next year to another Bones Canines. I will be in attendance and I will be bringing a dog. And now I want to win the fucking canines. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to find a dog off the street and prove that I can win now. If you're going to preempt my show, now I'm going to cause you some trouble. I'm going to ruin this tournament by winning it and showing no respect for the ribbon whatsoever. That's right. Get used to it. We're fucked now. I'm at war with my friends in the Bones over a goddamn canine competition. This is what my life is like now. This is how I know I need my day job to start immediately. I'm at war with fucking dogs. Soon. Fucking soon. With that being said, what an episode. Talk about some good stuff. Hopefully Will Smith is released from his emotional prison. Hopefully Stone Man Willie gets to go on to the next part of the afterlife. And hopefully people with the Bones now know I'm not fucking around when it comes to this dog show. But then again, I think we all know how this one is going to end.